right now the demonizing is always of the poor immigrants who come up looking for work, when the businesses that hire them, are just as complicit in any kind of illegal immigration that comes across the border. It's a two-way bargain. Most began out of the Southwest and in California, but really it was other parts of the country too, of people hiring, undocumented immigrants, and those of us who have undocumented immigrants as maids or as nannies or whatever it may be, it is that it's not. There's this whole sense of, oh, these guys are invading our country. Wait a minute, we're inviting them. Maybe not legally out of Washington, but as a society, so many of us are inviting them. Maybe all of us didn't buy into it, right? And this is the whole Tea Party argument. But we, as a nation, invited them as much as they came. And so if there's any kind of blame for being illegal, it cuts both ways. So so much of the fight has gone on things, crime, right? So you hear all the complaints about crime by illegal immigrants. It's nonsense. Immigrants, including illegal immigrants, commit crimes at 4 to 6 times less rate than the rest of Americans, including white middle-class Americans. It makes sense if you think about it, right? Most of the people who come here just come to work. They don't come to commit crime. Or if you're here illegally, the last thing you want to do is get caught doing something you shouldn't do. Then there's the whole economic argument. They cost us so much money. Well, what really is the situation? There is, in fact, a short-term fiscal cost by immigrants, including illegal immigrants. It's true. I mean, the humanitarians want to deny it, but it's true. Study after study after study shows it. It especially happens at the local level, and it only makes sense if you think about it. What is the most expensive thing that we pay taxes for at the local level? Schools. These are young people, young adults with young children. Their children are in the schools. And other local services. All low and middle class Americans pay more in get more in services than they pay in taxes. It's a factor of your income and of your age and of having children. And so then let's go up to the federal level. At the federal level, they are also, immigrants in general are a net fiscal benefit. Unauthorized, undocumented immigrants, unfortunately, are not. They don't get things like food stamps because they can't get it, all that kind of stuff. They don't get the welfare. They don't get any of the need-based programs. Those things are so controlled. They don't get it. They don't apply for it. They're afraid to. And as we all know, that for the most part, they almost all work, right? Very hard. Even if you're legal, you have to be here for 5 years before you're eligible to get any of those need-based programs. Even if you have a green card, only if you become a citizen do you suddenly become eligible for all those programs. Social Security, on the other hand, has benefited even by illegal immigrants. Because many working undocumented immigrants actually pay Social Security, but they can't collect it because they're paying under a false name. Right? Immigrants as a group, because of what happens at the local level, do in fact use more in federal, state, and local services than they pay in taxes. But as I say, that includes those immigrant children and children who are born here. It includes children who are also born here. The argument being you wouldn't have those children if the immigrants weren't here. Well, now this is a curious ethical conceptual argument. Should you see those children as immigrants or as Americans? Should you see them as a cost, or should you see them as an investment in the future? Right? And it's the same for all children.